Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Anyana Timirandasya Jnananjala Chalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadatikam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gope Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamani Haripriye Vancha Kalpadarutyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vatsadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna 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 Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama
Rama Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama
Hare.
Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna.
Radhika Mataji, muted.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna devotees. So all set for chapter 2. So today we will see chapter 2. Today is the most important chapter because this actually is the entire Bhagavad Gita. You know, everything in Bhagavad Gita is actually here. Now you'll be wondering why chapter 3, 4 and 18 chapters are there all over. But let's first understand what 2 is, and then we will see, you know, why all other chapters are in place, right? So let's what is this called, right? So basically that is why it is called summary of Gita. Why is it called summary? Because the entire Bhagavad Gita is actually here. So if you attend today, you will get a complete trailer of Bhagavad Gita. So this is called Gita Saramsha, right? So now let's see what is in it. Before that, let's have a very quick recap on what happened yesterday. So yesterday, chapter 1 was observing the armies on the battlefield. So it started off with Dhritarashtra inquiring about the battlefield to Sanjaya. Then it exhibited Duryodhana's fear, the power of the conch shells, blowing of conch shells from both sides, but specifically our Krishna's side, the Pandava side conch shells created so much fear, right? And observation of Arjuna, right? So he's telling, please go ahead and, I want to see what is happening. And finally, what happens is Arjuna reasons not to fight. Why we should not fight? So why is all this coming? Is Arjuna scared? So let's again do a quick reason why Arjuna is worried and why he doesn't want to fight, right? So it starts off with compassion. He's very compassionate, and it is a very good quality, right? Being compassionate towards others. We usually use the word empathy, right? So he becomes very compassionate, and then he also thinks that there will be no enjoyment, right? Irrespective of whatever world he conquests. Now sin. Now he's worried that sin will overcome him, right? It will be upon him on killing people, right? Because killing people is sinful. Now family tradition. Oh my God, if elders are no more, then what will happen to my family tradition? These are the 4 lamentations Arjuna had in chapter 1. All this made him indecisive. Indecisive means unable to make any decision. This one comes in 2.6. This is coming in the second chapter. So we will see that as well. So what happens is at the level of, at that stage, it becomes very indecisive. So he's confused. So what happens is in Shloka 2.2, Krishna is actually scolding him. He's telling Kashmalam, he's like really scolding him. You're so, how can you let all these impurities come upon you? Can you, you're such a powerful person, and how can all this come upon you? So he is actually literally abusing, he is using all bad words. He calls him even impotent. So powerful relationship they have. So Arjuna is completely indecisive in 2.6, as I told. And in 2.7, we are going to start where the first stage, where so far the relationship between Krishna and Arjuna are friends, right? There is a paradigm shift here where Arjuna surrenders. That's why there is a picture here where Arjuna is falling on the feet, and the relationship switches completely from, a friend relationship or cousin relationship to a complete surrendering Shishya relationship. Now, Krishna becomes what? He becomes now a spiritual master. So he stops scolding. You see the beautiful line of events which happened in chapter 1. Entire chapter 1, Krishna just spoke once. After that, he didn't speak at all, right? He was just silent all through. And only one time which he spoke also, like before Arjuna's mind started working. We were talking yesterday, right? So he says, behold, Arjuna, he's just telling, don't allow your mind to run. That is the only thing which he spoke. Now in chapter 2, he starts scolding Arjuna because he assumes a relationship as a friend, right? Even you all will do, right? If a friend comes to an exam hall and immediately tells, I don't want to write the exam, what will be your reaction? Hey, come on, don't be silly, don't do this, come on, you must write, right? And you try everything, you will finally give one piece of your mind, right? So same way he does. But the moment Arjuna surrendered, he takes the role of Krishna. Look at the speciality. In entire chapter 1, he hardly spoke, right? Which shows that he is a great listener. So we are all talking about leading by an example. So Krishna is leading by an example, that he never spoke. All the cribbing when Arjuna did, completely, all his lamentation, he was just silently listening. Then now, after surrendering also, he stops scolding and he is actually, doing this. So what is happening in 2.7? What does he say, right? Let's start. Hare Krishna. Karpanya dosho prahata svabhava prichami tvam dharma sammuda chetah yakshreyasan nichitam bruhi tanme shishyaste aham shadimam tvam prapannam. Hare Krishna.
Now I'm confused about my duty and have lost all composure because of weakness. In this condition, I'm asking you to tell me clearly what is best for me. Now I am your disciple and the soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me.
Very clear, right? Look at his bow. Can you see Arjuna? He doesn't say, hey, Krishna, I don't know what to do. Tell me. No, right? He's like really humble because he is now telling, as friends, they were doing everything possible. Now, as a person who's seeking advice, he goes to the sthanam, which is much lower, and tells him, now you tell me, I surrender to you. I am your disciple, right? So this very clearly sets an example how a disciple, when you're asking a question, right? Most often, this is a confusion I used to have. When you ask teacher a doubt, what tone we should use? Should we be at the same pace? Should we request? Should we dominate? This was always my confusion. I'm sure many of you also could be confused. So now here clearly he says this, that he surrenders, and so beautifully he is explaining this. So this is what is the beauty, and Arjuna is also leading by an example of how a disciple should be. So let's move to the next one. So they are just showing how the relationship of both exists. Hare Krishna. I believe what I see works when your vision is impeccably perfect. So who's Krishna? So this is something which we will learn more. What is the concept of seeing is believing? So when your vision is perfect, then whatever you see is fine. So when you see a long distance view, there's nothing, right? So there's only that orange light. So now you see closer, this looks right. I don't know whether it looks like a horizon, a sea, or a sky. So you see closer, then you can identify what this is. And now you see, oh my God, there is a tree out there, right? Can you see the tree? Now chat is open, so we all have to chat. Yeah, okay, you can see. Now let's see closer. Right? So you know what it is, a closer vision of that. Oh my God, can you see something else? What do you see there? Perfect. All of you have excellent vision, right? Parrot, right? So you see a parrot. So as you go closer, what happens is you see every single thing. So what happens is, many times you say that seeing is believing, right? That's a standard belief we say. What I see only I believe, right? So seeing may not be true all the time, because sometimes what you see could be very different because our senses are not perfect. the situation, right? And we all know that our eyesight, if I go to a room, our own house, and switch off the tube light, right? Yesterday, I think power went off in one of my rooms, and I was grappling as to where, things are. I'm sure it's likewise for all of us, right? So that is the challenge for us. We are dependent on either sun or an alternate light for our vision. And in spite of that, it's imperfect, right? So this So we'll now move on to the first answer. Remember, what was the first issue? What was the first lamentation Krishna had to resolve for Arjuna? Can you all type in the chat? What was the first challenge which Arjuna had of the 5? What was the first thing? Perfect. Yes, compassion. Hare Krishna. Yes. Thanks, Sanjeev. Thanks, Neetu. So basically, compassion. Yes, Anishriya, Divya. Thank you so much. Compassion, right? So all attentive, so happy. So what is happening? Compassion, right? So he has to address all the questions, right? So now he is a perfect teacher. See, he has so many questions. Every question he is addressing answer by answer, right? So let's start with Dehino asmin yata dehe kaumaram yavvanam jara tata dehantara praptir dhiras tatra na muyati. Hare Krishna.
As the embodied soul continually passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. The self-realized soul is not bewildered by such a change.
So what does he say? He says that, so typically what happens is the soul, right? Soul is what is inside. So this time, today is going to be heavy. We're going to read about soul. So we have various stages in life. Are you having the same body? Can you see the picture when you're born, right? We may talk about the cells growing and all that, but actually what happens, right? Even medically, once in 7 years, there are new cells which are formed. So whatever is happening, the body actually completely transforms, right? It changes. We keep telling it's my body, but is this body the same which we are having a decade before or 2 decades before? Or will it be same? We saw yesterday, right? After 2 decades, the person is entirely different. So this is what all the stories. So there's a completely different change which is happening, not after life or death, but it is during our life itself. You see so many bodily changes which are happening, right? So now so what is he saying, right? So this is a continuation of his lamentation of compassion. So 2.23. Nainam chintanti shastrani, nainam dahati pavakah, na chainam kledayantyapo, na sosyati marutah. Hare Krishna.
The soul can never be cut into pieces by any weapon, nor can he be burned by fire, nor moistened by water, nor withered by the wind.
So he is talking about the qualities of the soul. See, we've had so many cases where bomb blasts, all this has happened, right? So in any situation, you cannot burn the soul. There's no way it can be burnt. Nor, if someone dies in the sea, you can't say that the sea can only kill the body. It can't kill the soul. It doesn't get wet, right? Nor can it be carried away by the wind. So basically, what are they telling? We are talking about the various qualities of the soul. So Krishna is trying to explain Arjuna about the various qualities of the soul which are present in everyone. So what is he in one line trying to tell? He is saying that whatever is there in the soul, the body is, yesterday we saw, right, is made of set of chemical. So there are 2 ways of perception of the body. Either you believe that this body is only one lifetime, okay, and that body is going to die. If you have that feeling that the body does not exist, it is only one life, and you don't believe in any other life carrying karma or anything, then you don't have to worry because it's only one life, right? Why you're bothered about anything? If you're thinking that this particular body is going to stay with you again and again, even then during one lifetime itself, your body has changed. Have you ever cried, oh my God, 20 years back, I was so cute? We tell as an expression because we don't want to change, but we don't start crying, right? When the child moves from a childhood to a adult or whatever, in the house, do you tell, oh my God, my body is gone? Do we cry every 7 years for the cells dying? No. So he's saying the same. He says the soul always exists. So why are you lamenting and crying? Because your body, even though you lose, you will get another new body, right? You're going to get you in the sense, whatever, whoever you are worried that will die is going to get a new body. So it's a change of body. And in the first case, if you think it's a set of chemicals, you don't cry for chemicals, right? So if you lose a little bit of whatever, Dettol or a floor cleaner, will you cry, oh my God, I poured off this chemical? You don't cry, you don't yawn over it, right? So that is what he is saying. So this is his first point, telling that compassion. Arjuna, I understand you're compassionate, but why are you worried about? Because all those like Bhishma and Dronacharya, if they die, right, because we already studied this is Dharmakshetra, they are going to get a very new body, and it will be much healthier and younger. So why are you lamenting? This is what he is talking in terms of compassion. And this is applicable to all, right? So not just them. So now 2.31 to 2.37, what is the second lamentation Arjuna had? So you all can, the chat is open. So what is the first one is compassion. So he's addressed compassion. No enjoyment.
Second is sin. No enjoyment, sin.
Thank you so much, Hare Krishna. So attentive. I'm just enjoying the class. Your teachers must be very lucky to have you guys as students. So let's start. Hato va prapsyasi swargam jitva va bhokshase mahi tasmad utishta kaunteya yuddhaya krita nashchaya. Hare Krishna.
O son of Kunti, either you will be killed on the battlefield and attain the heavenly planets, or you will conquer and enjoy the earthly kingdom. Therefore, get up and fight with determination.
So 2.31 to 2.37, Arjuna is telling, what is in it for me? Do we all feel this, right? We need to get something, only then we will do something. Don't we all feel some part of our lives we keep telling, what is in it for me? What I get out of this, right? So same way Arjuna is feeling, right? Boss, I will not have any enjoyment if somebody is dead, because if I do not have people to relish my success, what's the point, right? This is what he is talking about. So now, Krishna is giving bumper offer. Now the first offer he is telling is, if you die, you will go to heaven. Now the second one is, if you win, obviously there is only one scope, right? You will be ruling the earth. So now now I'm going to ask you a question. Chats are open. How will you go to heaven? What is the guarantee Krishna is giving? On what basis is he giving that you will go to heaven? Now the chat is open. Yeah, no enjoyment. That's so nice. Sudhir, Anushri, all of them so attentive. So now tell me, what is the guarantee? Okay, winning though, if he's alive means it means that he is won. Otherwise, Duryodhana will kill him. So that is clear. But if he is dead, what is his karma? Okay, very nice. So that is one concept, karma. Besides that, very advanced thinking, Sanjeev. So at a very basic level, what is the story? Yesterday I was telling. So it is also called Dharmakshetra. So there are two stories to Dharmakshetra, which is a Kurukshetra. Exactly. Thank you so much. So anyone who is in, yes, thank you, Tanya. So anyone who will die in Kurukshetra will go to heaven. That's a default. And also anyone who dies in a battle, because he is doing his duty, right? Kurukshetra, yes, it's also called Dharmakshetra, Shrikant. Thank you. Yes, Pooja, thank you so much. So all of them who die here will go to heaven, and all of them who die fighting, in the sense in an army, also heaven is guaranteed. So these are guarantee which Krishna had already laid even prior in the Vedas. So he is telling, boss, there is absolutely no way you will fall back. You are anyway going to heaven. So both ways, you're super success. So where you're talking about no enjoyment, you're talking about enjoyment and super enjoyment, because more than earth, heavenly planets have absolute enjoyment, right? Now, when I'm glorifying heaven, don't immediately think we should go to heaven. We will see where we should go. Okay, there is something beyond heaven. So let's try and see what that is all about. So answer 2.31 to 37, this still continues. Avacha vadamscha bahun vadishyanti tavahitaha nindantas samartyam tato dukkataram nukim. Hare Krishna.
Your enemies will describe you in many unkind words and scorn your ability. What could be more painful for you?
So what will happen? Very clearly, enemies are waiting for a chance to mock us, right? I mean, who has more experience than us, right? So anywhere we fall down, everybody around will wait for us, right? Same thing he's telling, boss, the enemies will speak to you so rudely. They are not going to understand that you're compassionate. They will only be thinking that you're not capable, right? What do you mean by score your ability? They will try and look down on you. You're scared, you ran away, all this. Now, why are we telling what is it more painful? We always, one side, we are telling we should become insensitive, wash your hand and go off, right? Why is he telling? Is because at the end of the chapter, when time permits, I will tell you about the story of Dhruva Maharaj, right? So what is the story overall here is Arjuna is a Kshatriya, right? So you should understand the positioning of each. Now for a Kshatriya, he won't mind even dying, but he won't be able to take a bad name, right? That you will notice, right? Even among us, some of us take insults so calmly. Some of them will also tell, hey, this person is a buffalo, yeah, nothing is happening. But for some, we feel that little, the blood boils inside, right? So that is all because of our inherited qualities. Here, Arjuna is a Kshatriya, so his blood will boil. He wouldn't mind someone killing him by a sword rather than insulting him by the words, right? So that is what matters. So that is what he is telling, boss, that it's going to be horrible for you. Nobody is going to tell you compassionate. You're going to think, oh my God, this is the feeling which you're going to have. So, Hare Krishna. Neha Vikramana Sosti Pratyavayo na vidyate Swalpamapyasya dharmasya Trayate mahato bayat. 2.4, Hare Krishna. So, what is he telling, right? He's talking about, first I want to tell the story of this little cute mouse with the cherry. So what does this mean? Swalpa means little bit. So what he is telling, Krishna is telling that little bit some service anybody does, so he's waiting for an opportunity. Right? He is so desperate, right? So he is just talking about what is in his mind. So what are this? These are actually addressing the question 3. So before I explain this, now you have to tell me what is this third question. We saw enjoyment, right? We also saw, and this is addressed from 2.38 to 2.53 is giving answers in detail. So what is this third issue?
Sin. Sin.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Wow, all of you. Right? Oh, huge. Manika Singh, Sanjeev, Anushri, Shrikant, Tanya. Oh my God, you all are so attentive. Even if I was half attentive as you all in school, I would have got more marks, I think. But anyway, thanks. Thank you so much. Sin. So now he is telling, my God, sin, I'm going to kill a person. So it's going to be sinful. Yes or no? Is it sinful to kill a person? Can I go to the road and that fellow is so bad? Can I just take a sword and kill him? I mean, many times, at least once we felt we should kill this person. No. So what Arjuna is doing is a very sinful activity, right? What Arjuna is doing, is it sinful activity? Arjuna's activity sinful? Yes, no? Depends on the situation, okay? Suman, we are going to debate this at the end. So, what Arjuna did, is it sinful? Yes, no? No, okay? No, acha, okay, you are all favoring Arjuna so much, okay. So what is Krishna telling? Okay, so now I'm going to go to the small story of this little mouse, okay. So this mouse is thinking it's a strawberry, and there's a small lamp, right? This diya is right before the deity of Krishna. Now, what is happening is, the mouse gets confused that this particular light is nothing but strawberry, right? So it is so tempted, how animals are. It just can't resist, and it's just running and jumping into the fire, and it dies, okay? So immediately, what is happening? Why did the mouse go? It thinks of its food. But Krishna is writing accounts, right? Krishna is writing accounts. Oh my God, such a lovely mouse. It came to rescue my lamp, which was burnt, which is supposed to get switched off because of the wind. What a sacrifice. Okay, now, Yamaraj and Chitragupta are coming and telling, Krishna, this is not the truth. Why don't you open your eyes and see the truth? Mouse is actually trying to, eat, thinking it's a strawberry. He's telling, no, I know. So what does he know? Is Krishna dumb? Is he dumb? Is he, does he not have brain? Or is, Yama or Chitragupta more smarter? No, correct. So then why is this happening? No, yeah. So this is like, we all will experience, when we are little, and we also still experience sometimes when you have a little brother or a cousin who's very tiny, they will eat something and give us one small bit. 99% of the time they'll give it to us because they don't like it. Same thing we would have done when we were little, like typically 1 year, 2 years. But our parents, or even in our case, when we see someone little giving us milk, oh, this person likes it so much, huh? They gave this for me. Some part of our mind clearly knows that this was not given to us because we like it, it's because they don't like it, right? But still, how do we flatter ourselves? We tell that, oh, have you all had this experience? I have had this experience so many times. Even if you personally didn't have experience, you'll see your mama and all, right? You had it, right? Okay. So, Chacha Parao, Kishrikant, all of them, yeah, super puja, yeah. So, same thing. So Krishna is not an idiot. It's like, when we play a game also, every time we lose to a small child because we enjoy making them win, right? So same way, Krishna is waiting for an opportunity. Where will something we'll do, even accidentally, let me give you the credits and let's, okay. So that is the point and heart of the Krishna. We keep blaming him. Oh my God, Krishna is so bad. He did this to me. So bad. Paper is so tough, everything. But he is waiting for the chance. Swalpam apyasya means swalpam. Anybody who knows Kannada will understand. Swalpa means very little in Kannada also. So he's saying that little bit of anything done also is always kept, like a bank account. It does not die. And he creates this. This is what he is trying to highlight it here in this particular shloka. Now you see anything, including anger, which Hanuman did and burnt Sri Lanka, we may have mixed views and we'll take it in Q&A today. Hanuman burning Sri Lanka, good or bad? Now you're going to message me, good or bad? Hanuman burning Sri Lanka, right? And that anything which is done in the act of for Krishna is considered good because Rama was not upset or angry. He was happy, right? So good, right? So we are such lovely people in this batch. Previously, they used to tell bad, and I will tell you why they felt bad and what was the reason. But of course, there is no judgment. It's our own view. Good and why I will tell you at the end of this session. So that is what he thinks. Anything done, even anger exhibited is there. So now moving on to the fourth answer, where he answers between 2.45 to 46. For the answer, we need the question. Every time, I need the question. What is a question? What is
indecision?
Family traditions. Lovely. Thank you so much. So family tradition. So what is he telling? Family tradition will go away. You need elders to do all this, right? So if you don't have, then all the family tradition will go away. So this is what he is talking about clearly. And, he is also, before this, he's also talking about for the sin, he says, just like how you understood, for the sin, it's like the judge, right? In a judge who gives a judgment, and we're going to talk about it in length in our bridge today, is not going to be wrong if he is going to give hanging or even a long-term punishment to someone. Same way, Krishna tells Arjuna, as a Kshatriya, fighting is his duty. So there will be no sin that will incur him when he is doing his duty. So that way he convinces him. Now, on the fourth, he's talking about family tradition. So he is worried that the family tradition will go away. And Krishna is telling that the family name will go away only if he doesn't fight, right? Because people will start looking down on him, telling that what kind of a guy you are. And that is so horrible, right? It's so horrible and pathetic that nobody can sustain that kind of a name. Your family name itself will, infamy means loss of family name. The whole name of the family will go to dogs because, we'll have experience, right? Why are we all very well behaved? One reason is we want to be well behaved. Another reason is we want to project to be well behaved, right? Because we don't want others to think bad of our name, our family name and all, right? Yes or no? Right? Sometimes we don't want to do it, but still we are in best of behavior. Sometimes, when all these elders and relatives come, it's so boring. You just feel like running away there. I have felt that so many times. Any of you all have felt that, or am I the only one, or are you with me? Yes, thank you so much, Shrikant. But we don't have a choice, and especially my dad will tell, my friends are all coming, they are all senior doctors, be well dressed. I will be so bored, we have to give away our shorts and wear one very nice dress in this hot summer. I'm from Chennai, so you know how hot it is, and get ready and give an artificial smile. Yes, that is the most boring thing. But still, you do it only because of the fact that, you just want to keep up the standard of our family tradition, right? So that is the situation. See, I'm so happy that a lot of we all are like me. I'm so glad that I'm not alone here. Thanks, Pooja. Thanks, Pradeep. So that's where, we are worried. So what happens now? So that time, we can be our own, right? So we can also come and if we want to go for swimming, just go in a swimming, shorts and a t-shirt and tell, hey, I'm going for swimming. Okay, see you, bye. We would love to do that. But just to protect our family tradition, we try and not do all this and try to be well behaved, even though we just don't like it. Right? Same way, what he's telling is, even if you don't like it, boss, fight, because you let down your family. They will all think, what kind of a guy are you? Are you Pandu's son? Are you Kunti's son? Because they are all great warriors, right? And also, adharma is happening. You cannot be sleeping. So that is what he's saying. Now, answer 5. Now, the question for answer 5. Give me a heads up. Question for answer 5. Indecision. Wow, that's super. So indecisive. So this is the most favorite because I always felt indecision is the best solution. Whenever I'm confused, I will not decide. So that way, I would always love to be, this is my all-time favorite, but don't follow. It's a bad example. But I was just thinking, so he also decided, like Arjuna decided, I will not take a decision. But the best decision he made is he surrendered. So what is happening? Vyavasayatmika buddhi ekeha kuru nandana bahu shakaya nantascha buddhiyo avivasayinam. So vivasayatmika buddhi means, our intelligence resolute in Krishna conscious. So basically he's telling that you should think of Krishna in your activity and not think that you are the doer. For example, you know who this small little cute boy with the bow is? Who's this small cute boy with the bow? Not bad. What is the name of the bow? Arjuna. Thank you. What is the name of the bow? I was thinking somebody will at least make one mistake. I thought you would tell Abhimanyu, but it's correct. So what is the name of the bow? Gandhiva. Oh, wow.
Gandhiva.
Gandhiva bow. Yes. And who is this person who's sitting down and watching him? Drona. Wow. Drona is his name. Acharya means teacher. Dronacharya is his name. Thank you, Rajat. Sanjeev. Oh, yeah, brilliant. So we are having this boy learning at that age, right? And there was one motive he took. There was one very beautiful story, and I can't stop sharing. Bhima, all of you all know Bhima is a foodie, right? A foodie means you all will call yourself foodie. It is not that foodie. He's a very big foodie. So usually mama will keep food for the child and then only eat, no? But Kunti used to do differently. She used to feed all the children and then she used to eat and then only give to Bhima. You know why? Not because she's a bad mom. It's because if she gives him first food, nobody will have it. So what happens is, one day, as usual, this is the straight agenda. He would always be in charge of any catering or cooking because he loves it, right? So now what happened is, one day there is a, those days, if there is a breeze or wind, power failure will happen. Candles will go off and it takes few minutes. There was no instant generator then, not the way we have. So power went and they managed to light it back in a matter of a few seconds or probably less than a minute. And that was at the time of serving food. And what happened is the entire food, all the bowls, everything was empty in that fraction of a minute. Okay, and Arjuna just could not even understand. He runs to his, teacher and asks the teacher, I am very confused. How is it at that age? How is it this is happening? How Bhima could eat off everything so fast? Is it possible? Even we are all foodies, we can be faster than someone, but we won't be able to gulp the whole thing, right? And even if we gulp, we will be able to do what? Maximum one number is there. Beyond that, we will burp, right? So Arjuna is asking how, what is it, in Bhima, which he is able to succeed in that time. Look at Arjuna, right? Even there, he sees the plus point. If it was we, will tell, this fellow ate off my food also. How bad he is, that would be our thought. But look at this Arjuna's thought flow, right? Everywhere he tries to learn. So Drona says, it's a focus, right? Buddhi. If you have a single focus, right? One single focus, if you have, you will always be very successful. So he's telling that one single focus which he has is on clearly the food. So with all his energy, you focus. They tell us also, even we have this experience. Throughout the year, we won't be finishing even one lesson, right? Just before the exam, oh my God, all 10 lessons will go inside the head. Whether we remember or not, we will finish all 100 pages in 2 hours is inside the head. Yes or no? My case used to be like that. The whole year, one line, yes, okay. One line also won't go. Fully, and especially management time, the first heading also won't go inside. I'll be blinking. And, exam. That is because of the fact that just before exam, we are giving our 100%, right? Same way, Arjuna is giving his 100%, and that's the thing Dronacharya is telling. If you breathe so hard and you want something so desperately, you will achieve. That is the lesson he is saying, and that is what he takes it. So that is what he says, and that is answering his fifth question, which is indecision. So he's telling that don't give up. You have to decide, because you're doing everything for Krishna, and it's not your own thing. You are an instrument, right? So that is what he is actually trying to explain here. Now in 2.55, let's see what he is saying. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Prajahati Yada Kama Sarvan Parthamanugatan Atmanevatmana Tushtaha Sita Prajas Tadochate. Hare Krishna.
The blessed Lord said, O Partha, when a man gives up all varieties of sense desire which arise from mental concoction, and when his mind finds satisfaction in the self alone, then he is said to be in pure consciousness.
Now, after answering all the 5 questions, now the whole thing came where, it starts with Arjuna on a very serious part. What is he trying to do? He wants to run away. Run away where? He says, I'll go to a forest. Okay. So Arjuna is telling, I'll run to a forest, and Arjuna, Krishna is telling, boss, you do all this, you'll be a pretender. Because even if you go there, you may not be able to become a perfect sannyasi, because even if you become a sannyasi, what will happen? You're a Kshatriya basically. Right? So what will happen, even if you see some adharma, it could be any adharma. You'll see a hunter trying to kill a deer, or some akrama which is happening, somebody trying to abuse a woman. You can't be too quiet. You may not have your bow, but you will take even a leaf and fight, right? So there is one saying, right, for someone who's very strong, even a leaf can become his weapon. So he is now telling that you can do anything, even a leaf can become a weapon, right? So don't do this, is what he is actually trying to tell. And he's laughing, over Arjuna in his heart, though externally is. So now what he's doing is he's doing a comparison. He can't be directly, he's the guru, right? So he can't abuse Dumbo and all. Okay, in my case, it's different. Directly, my guru and teachers in school used to tell me Dumbo. Mine was an exception. But Krishna is telling, teachers should not tell that, right? So what is he telling now? He wants to give an example, right? He's telling that, okay, agree. So let me tell you about something called the Siddhadev Muni. Yesterday, someone was asking self-realized soul. What is it? So Krishna is explaining self-realized soul so that Arjuna will think, oh my gosh, this is self-realized soul. I'm no way close to this. I will not even talk about it, because does he really want to be a sannyasi? Is that Arjuna's idea? No, right? He wants to run away. It has happened so many times in my life. I'm sure it would have happened for few of y'all also. When there is a tough exam, or when there is a dose which I get from my dad or in the family, or when everybody is shouting, the first thing I will think is, take my bag and run away somewhere. Forget bag also, just feel like running away, right? Have you ever felt that running away? I have felt. Have you guys felt? Yes, no? Exactly. So do we really want to do japa or think of God? No, that situation you want to run away. So can you relate, Arjuna? No, Arjuna also wants to run away only. It's not that he wants to go and think of God or anything, right? That moment, escapism. Actually, Arjuna is an escapist, though we don't want to say it, but that is what many times I've also felt many times. I thought since it's a public forum and it is being recorded, I will be very diplomatic. Remember, family tradition came in my mind. I will not use many times. I will tell occasionally. I'm just trying to meet the decorum of this video. But fact is, many times we feel that. So Arjuna, every time he's feeling that now also, run away only he's trying to do. So Arjuna will be thinking, oh my God, how many times? So he's now telling qualifications to run away. This is what is this particular thing claim. So what does he say? He says, okay, Partha, when a man gives up all the varieties of sense desire, right? So we all run away and go to a forest. Will we be without our Nike shoe, right? Or will we be without our watch? Very difficult. We don't need time, right? But we need watch. It's like me. I've never seen time. I don't know when I've seen, but I need my watch, because it's more like a fantasy form, right? Like that, Arjuna will also be thinking, I need this, that, and all that. And when the mind finds satisfaction in self alone, right? Here, self means not me, Krishna, okay, God, self alone, then he is said to be in pure transcendental conscience. So Krishna is telling the qualification of sannyasi. Krishna very beautifully puts things that, Arjuna will tell, oh my Krishna, leave me. Tell me what I should do. I will do that. That is what he's telling. A classic example is one small little chotu fellow. He's sitting in the right. Who is this boy? I am now confident you all will not know who is this boy on the right in this picture. I am so happy that nobody knows for a change. I thought that I will be happy and you people are stealing me of the happiness. Oh my God, so many of you all know. I was so confident none of you will know. Sanjeev, Shweta, bro, my God, Anupam. Yeah, absolutely, Ashwin. Oh my God, it's all, everybody seems to be knowing. I thought nobody will know. So let me also try and search some information which you all don't know. This is my challenge. Yes, this is Prahlad, little Kuti Prahlad, son of Hiranyakashipu. And who is this little boy? He is a boy born in the demon family, right? Best of demons, not just demon family, blood of demons. And he thinks Krishna is the supreme. He preys on Narsimha. So what happens is, though Hiranyakashipu loved his son, eventually when he came to know that this boy is talking about Vishnu as the highest, he gets so angry. But this Prahlad is so sweet, right? He's very respectful. He will tell his dad, oh my dear, best of devotees. He's not sarcastic. He gives so much of respect to his dad. And finally he tells Vishnu. Now many of you all were asking, right? I want to respond. He responds. He's a classic example. He will always respond. He says, I am the best. He says, yes, you're the best of demons. But the highest is Vishnu. Look at him. He gives respect. He will fall at his father's feet. He will do everything. But he never changes his stand. So for all those who had that doubt, what should I do? How will I manage? You know, I can't be quiet. You don't have to be quiet, because Prahlad at the age of 5 was never quiet. What he did, he went on and he did take it up, right, with the father. He just didn't, what he didn't do is, he didn't tell, hey father, hey dad, keep quiet. That he didn't do. He put it across politely. But in spite of that, the father is Rakshasa, demon. He tried killing him in many ways, and not even once he was worried or scared, because he felt and thought only of Vishnu. That is what is his speciality. So irrespective of time, place, you know, he was always thinking. So some pictures of some great devotees are what is there. Prabhupada is one such devotee where he is, irrespective of problems he faced, he is always there. 2.62, Hare Krishna. Dhyayato Vishnayan Pumshah Sangaste Supajayate Sangat Sanjayate Kama Kama Krodo Abhijayate. Hare Krishna.
While contemplating the objects of the senses, a person develops attachment for them, and from such attachment, lust develops, and from lust, anger arises.
This is for all those who said, I have problems with relationships, or you had problems in day-to-day. Observe what is happening. What happens is, there is an attachment. I'm not talking about love. We're talking about some attachment. It could be even to a thing, right? Attachment is there. And from that attachment, lust. Lust here refers to desire, greed, right? So the lust develops. And what happens when the desire develops? When you don't achieve that, you get anger. So let me just take a small example on a medical, right? Someone is aiming at becoming a doctor, and they're very attached that they want to become a doctor. It is a good aim to be a doctor, no doubt, but you put your efforts. But what happens is, the desire is so much that if you do not get, you know, you get so angry. You get so angry and disappointed, right? And let's see and how it dominates, how it continues. The circle doesn't end. 2.6. Krodad bhavati sammoha, sammoha smriti vibhramaha, smriti bhramsad buddhi naso, buddhi nasat pranashyati.
From anger, complete delusion arises, and from delusion, bewilderment of memory. When memory is bewildered, intelligence is lost, and when intelligence is lost, one falls down again into the material pool.
Very high English, no? Prabhupada uses so much English that all of us need to check dictionary. So what happens? We are continuing that, right? So after that, what happens? Anger is coming. And from anger, you know, delusion, you start getting confused, right? And all this confusion leads to a confusion in the mind, memory, right? And what happens with all this? Finally, what happens? You get bewildered and intelligence itself gets lost, right? We tell that our brain is not working. This is what is actually happening. And finally, when the intelligence is lost, you land up doing a lot of things. Always I tell, when the intelligence should be the dominating factor, not mind. If the intelligence is not the dominating factor, what happens is your mind dominates and you land up doing a lot of things. So also, why is all this coming is because Krishna introduced the concept of the Siddhadir Muni. Siddhadir Muni means someone who's perfect. And Arjuna immediately asked, okay, tell me about this Muni. It's like persuading. He didn't tell because Arjuna will tell, I never asked you, it's out of syllabus, he will say. So he is making Arjuna tell that, hey, tell me, how does he walk? How does he sit? How does he do? He's making him ask questions and he's giving all this as answers. So now we will do what it is. So these object of senses now immediately sees, it develops attachment. Classic example is opposite gender. The moment we see, until then it may not even strike us, attachment comes. Automatically lust comes. Basically any desire. It could be call it love also, it's fine. But what I'm telling you is you want to get it. You want to connect to it. If the person rejects you, you get angry, right? You're delusion, you're confused, and you're completely bewildered. You don't know what to do, and your intelligence is lost. So what happens is you may do anything. You may get angry, you may hurt yourself, you may hurt her. If you all are not doing both, then you all are great. But normally what happens? So what is happening to Krishna's solutions now, right? So this is what is the quality of Siddhartha Muni, and here he is telling what you should not do. Finally, what is happening? All that Arjuna didn't want, right? Compassion. He had a compassion not to fight. So Arjuna is being answered by Krishna that we are not the body, we are the soul. And we saw the qualities of soul. So Krishna's solutions are given in a snapshot. And no enjoyment, what he is telling, okay, you go to heaven or you will get the kingdom. So you're going to have a super bouncer, super winner, right? Next is fear of sinful activities, right? So he's addressing that in devotional service. We saw, right? Even accidental devotional service of the mouse. And in terms of, Hanuman, there is no sin involved, right? And destruction of a family. Oh my God, be a role model here. Don't be an example. People should not tell you should run away, right? And be a role model. And Varna Shankara means you will result in a wrong doing and wrong set of people, wrong population will come because of the family. If you're not a right example, right? That's what he's answering. Now, indecision. He's telling basically, why are you indecisive? Because you're confused. Serve the Lord with firm determination and there will be absolutely no confusion. And finally, he's just giving Gyan session, right? Muni. So how beautifully Krishna is addressing all the questions, right? Do you see how beautifully the entire chain is transformed? Lovely, right? So I have this, when I read this Bhagavad Gita, I always used to think that when I have 4 or 5 questions, generally I get one Khichdi answer, and the Khichdi answer never fits any question in my life. Now I want to ask, am I the only one getting Khichdi answers, or do I have someone here? Right? So yeah, thank you so much. No need private message, send in the group. I want everyone to know that I'm not alone. Thank you, Sanjeev. Yes. So what happens is, can you see very clearly? It says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are your questions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are the answers. This is a learning for us. Every time you have a bad experience, one thing which we can learn is to be and not to be. If you see a good person, be the way that person is. If you see a bad person, not to be, and all the things I used to hate is something which I learned. One thing which I used to hate is having a Saturday school or any Saturday meeting. And permanently what I thought is, I will never have a meeting on Saturday, and I can't control school because I'm not a school teacher or a principal. But anything I do, I will not have it on a Saturday. Now you don't come back to me and ask me whether Saturday and Sunday do we have this 18-day course. Yes, we have. That I don't have control. So you have to come with me on Saturday, Sunday also. But I'll try and keep it more like this and entertaining. Yes. So with this, we will complete the entire Bhagavad Gita over chapter today. Now you will ask me, oh my God, then what is coming up in 18th chapter? So the point is, Arjuna may be as intelligent as all of us or more intelligent, but all of us can't understand anything when said once. So Krishna has to reiterate, and it led to complete 18 chapters for it to be completely convinced. So currently we have a knowledge from 2nd chapter that we are not the body, we are the soul. Is the knowledge sufficient? No, right? We studied physics, but what is metaphysics? Application, right? So we have to get into application. So we'll try and see if we are able to apply a little bit of whatever he told over our journey in the next few days to come, right? So with this, I end, or rather I will continue the session in bridge. And is there any doubts? You can type in the chat. Otherwise, I will stop now and we will see the bridge course. Is that fine? Yeah. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.